Hello, everyone. My name is Charles, and welcome to the Geeks of the Round Hangout discussion of Sleepy Hollow Season 2, Episode 9?
Yes.
Episode 9. I don't remember the name of the episode, though,
It's
because...
called Mama. Seriously, it's called Mama, the easiest words of all time, dude. Really? Really?
Shut up, Isaiah, shut up. This episode was, it was mediocre. It was
What?
well, the Monster of the Week aspect was mediocre. The stuff involving Jenny and Abby Mills, that was probably the best part of the whole episode. But enough of that. Now to introduce my co-panelists. Isaiah Mullins, say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone. Yes, Isaiah Logic is back, and I'm here to drop some knowledge on Charles. This is not mediocre. Moving on to Lurod.
What's going on, folks?
Yes, okay. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to it. Okay. Isaiah, what did you think of the episode?
I loved it. I loved every bit of it. I loved the humor. I did love the deep story within the Mills family, and I actually liked the monster because it had real weight to it. Because actual nurses do that, bad nurses that do that shit, and they do it in psych. Well, they do it in a lot of things. So to me, it felt a little bit more realistic. And also, she was like a Freddy Krueger-like person, like the Sandman was, but not powerful as the Sandman.
There was nothing about this entire episode that I thought was even remotely close to Nightmare on Elm Street.
Really? Really?
Because she was a ghost, and she didn't attack people in people's dreams. The Sandman did.
However,
she's just a ghost.
However, Charles, the main character teleports to different parts of the ward, into more creepy and more eerie settings.
Fucking do. She teleported into an abandoned ward of the psych hospital.
Hey, that's what the same thing with Freddy Krueger. Remember Freddy Krueger, Dream Warriors, or a sequel to Dream Warriors. It was the psych ward. Oh, what's up?
Which took place in a dream sequence. This was all.
Freddy Krueger jumped out of dream state to go to the real world. He attacked people in the real world.
They did that in
Nightmare on Elm Street 3, buddy. Maybe for 5 minutes at the very end. But other than that, Freddy always works in a nightmare.
Yeah.
It always takes it to the real world. Thank you. It always happens.
In every movie of Nightmare on Elm Street, they have always come up with the thing, well, if you grab a hold of Freddy and bring him into the real world, then you can kill him.
What about Wes Craven's? Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Freddy Krueger came out of nowhere because the boy was sleepwalking.
Maybe it's for the best that we forget that movie ever existed because that.
Hey, that's a good movie. That's a good movie.
No, it wasn't. It was just. You know what? No, this is a hangout for Sleepy Hollow. We need to move the hell on.
Before we go to Sleepy Hollow, before we get to that, Charles cannot be trusted, folks. Because you know why? Because he's like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yes, it sickens me.
But there's people out there that like that movie too, Isaiah.
I know. Sick people. Sick people who like Stargate 2.
You know what? I'm not even going to touch that one. Okay, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. But all right. But anywho, before we actually get into the meat of the episode, Lurod, I understand that you actually decided to get caught up on the first season and with the second season. What did you think of everything that you've seen so far?
Everything so far has been great up until yesterday's episode.
Okay, so you loved it. All right. I will ask this. What was your favorite part of season 1?
The beheadings.
The beheadings. Well, the beheadings actually didn't happen as much as I thought they would.
So what? It was still interesting to watch someone get their head chopped off.
Yeah. I gotta say, in season 1, my favorite part would actually be the part where Irving finds out that the Horseman is real. He's at the forensic place where they're experimenting on that head in that container, right. And then the Horseman shows up and he says, "Oh my God, he's real!" And then all hell breaks loose, and I just love that. That was awesome.
Dude, he didn't mention gonna act like, oh, that was so cool and cheesy.
Yeah. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's get into the episode. Okay.
Besides all the beheadings, it was actually a good overall story. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Like I said, last night I felt it was an okay episode, but it felt too much of a filler. I really didn't give a damn what happened to their mother.
Well, the stuff that was going on with their mother, I actually liked the most, especially at the end of the episode, where they had that seance and they talked to the mother, and Jenny was like saying, "Please don't go," and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I thought that was great. I kind of got choked up at that scene.
So did I. It was really a really good scene. It was like supernatural, like how the like the boys saw their mother. They tried to. Remember, Charles was talking about that. They went back in the past to save their mother and things like that nature. It's just it reminded me of Supernatural, but in an interesting way though.
I mean, no, the episode was still okay at best. I mean, I knew off rip when I put it on that the creepy nurse white lady was the bad guy. She just had that vibe.
And I was telling Leroy before we started the hangout that I didn't really think that she was the villain. I thought she was some ordinary nurse at Tappy Town. I didn't really think that she was a threat until when she was revealed to be the threat.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming at all. I didn't say it came out. What? She's the villain?
It actually took me a minute, even after she was revealed to be the villain, to figure out that she was a ghost. I didn't know what I didn't know if she was a ghost. I didn't know if she was a demon. I didn't know anything. So,
her outfit is what threw her off. If you look at all the other orderlies, they're wearing normal scrubs, and she was wearing like a dress. She just felt out of place.
Yeah, but again,
I guess I didn't really notice that.
But then again, these wards are so where they're at is really messed up. So staff can't tell the difference because they're kind of stupid anyways. And the mental patients, it's sad to say, they're pretty much stuck with this type of scenario. So again, I know what you're saying, Leroy, but it was kind of good for her setting because that's a place where people can get overlooked easily. Like what Jenny said, if they put you in the psych ward, they pretend you're not even there. So it actually speaks volume how this ghost got the easy kills now in and out. So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And I mean that actually kind of confuses me a little bit. Is that how was Moloch able to control the ghost? I mean, he's been able to send demons and monsters after them, but ghosts? I mean, I just don't know. I just
remember the Pied Piper? He was a ghost.
He wasn't a ghost.
He didn't seem like
demon. Ghost like demon.
Like a demon.
He was like a demon. Yeah, he wasn't a ghost. He was more like a demon.
What about Ichabod's ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or whatever you want to call her?
Ghost.
Yeah, she was a ghost who also became a demon.
Oh, okay. All right.
There you go. Drop some knowledge.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sleeping, buddy. But
don't be mad at me because I dropped some knowledge. Oh, and none of that hurts, doesn't it? Oh.
I'm sorry, but Ichabod's girlfriend was annoying as hell.
What, the weeping lady?
Oh, Lord.
The ghost,
she wasn't annoying, but I liked her.
The actual weeping lady herself was cool, but when they did the flashbacks in that episode before she was killed, I have to agree with you. She was a bit naggy and annoying. I didn't.
Damn,
really
was she jealous?
Yeah,
I know.
Very jealous.
But I liked her though. She was really cool. In my book, she was cool.
Oh, so you like a jealous woman in your life, huh? You like a woman that's gonna drop that Isaiah lunch back on you with all that nagging.
Exactly. Pretty much.
But, oh no, just I mean, I don't really. I mean, I know I'm the host of the Sleepy Hollow Hangout discussion, but I mean, there isn't really much that I want to touch on. I mean, there's that scene at the end with Katrina and Moloch, and that was cool.
There's a lot of things to touch on, really. For example,
well, then you elaborate on what these scenes are.
Okay, fine. Now he's come through as a black guy to save the day again. Anyways, folks, we're gonna touch on pretty much the ward itself, because the Mill Sisters storyline was the main arc, but the backstory was the asylum itself, because we see how this place is pretty much run. It's like, wow, this is kind of a shitty place. Who in the hell still run this? Because it starts making you think like, okay, now I see they're just pretty much a rundown piece of shit, a psych ward, which is the sad thing behind it. And when they try to figure out
in America,
right, and when they try to figure out what all these murders that happened at the psych ward, they like wonder like, wait, why has this place been closed down yet? Yeah, so many suicides here, like, and who the hell? Where's the staff at? It's so confusing when that guy's about to cut his arm with that sharded glass. Like, wait a minute, where is the staff?
That's true. Where's the staff at?
Because that's
Captain Orlando Jones goes to drown himself. How the hell he get into that bathroom with all them tubs?
Yeah,
Right.
I am a bit curious about that because I mean, remember, Henry had told him about the other patient at the psych ward that killed his daughter, as a drunk driver and everything, and he tried to kill him. He went batshit crazy and tried to kill him.
Also,
And,
that. Oh, go ahead.
and I just think that when an inmate at a psych ward does that, they become not very trustworthy, and so the orderlies and the doctors have to keep an eye on them at all times.
Yep.
It's kind of like being on suicide watch, only it's more like homicide watch or something.
Matter of fact,
And,
Charles, you make a good point there because sorry to interrupt you, but again, why would you put someone who actually hurt the guy's daughter in the first place? Like, that smells trouble, anyways. Like, you
well,
got
to be
more-
honest, I don't even know why that guy was at the psych ward. I mean, nothing that he did, the crime that he should be in prison for paralyzing Irving's daughter. He doesn't need to go into a psych ward. He should be thrown in a prison.
But that's where you're wrong.
Yeah.
We don't know his backstory. He
Yeah.
could have easily manipulated the system to act like he's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
Out of control.
really, how can someone make themselves look crazy when they're when they're being prosecuted for a DUI?
Charles, it can happen.
Dude,
You got some good actors. You got some good actors.
We're talking about a justice system in real life that's shady at best.
Yeah. And getting back to the shady.
I mean, it's just, I mean, if I was a judge or if I was a lawyer, which I would never want to be either one of those, but if I was in the courtroom and the guy was being prosecuted for injuring people while being intoxicated behind the wheel, I'm like, yeah, you weren't insane, you're just stupid because you drank alcohol behind the wheel.
Right.
We don't know. We don't really know his true backstory, and we'll never know.
Why he's in the psych ward is because Irving is there and Henry is that guy's lawyer as well.
Actually, no. Going back to the psych ward itself, and sorry to interrupt you guys, but again, when we saw like the little flashbacks of the Mills family and her mother, it was actually really cool to me because we never saw her mother like in a real action or pretty much in the scene yet, and then we actually saw like how she was and bound these demons. It's like, wow, that's kind of cool, but also it kind of takes you back some because you do see people who actually are crazy or pretty much say demons are getting them, but demons are not real. So it was really cool how they play around with that story, and the children who played the younger mainly actors and the actresses were actually good too because they were actually normal and pretty much not overacting African American children. They were actually sisters that looked out for one another. And we saw that in the scene that the portrait that their mother made, and we saw at the end. It was like, wow, to me that was very beautiful. But at the same time, they try to cover it up. So again, Briarcliff, it gives you a good image of what corruption and what shadiness of this evil people with a lot of money do by a facility like that. Because if you think about it, who owns that facility? Rich folks. If they own it, I mean, they're not going to take good care of it. That's why it's still up. That's why you got pretty much suicides left and right. Like, oh, we got suicides. Oh, who cares? They killed themselves. No one gives a fuck. And that's the sad thing behind it. Briarcliff was like the second villain, if you think about it. Not the nurse. It was the Briarcliff itself, the system. It makes you think like, wait a minute. Who runs this facility? Does Moloch run it? Or does Henry run it? So that makes you more thinking like, damn, this is a really fucked up place. So Briarcliff, to me, was a villain. Not the nurse itself. Briarcliff was the villain because you start questioning like, where's the staff? Where's everyone else? Because that's actually poor neglect towards the patients.
But speaking of Henry,
yeah,
he's got mommy and daddy issues.
Oh God, yes he does. Yes he does.
Yeah, it's the thing that I do want to touch on is the scene where Henry and Katrina were looking over the baby crib, and Henry said, "Go on, pick him up." I mean, he was like saying like, "Oh, maybe you'll abandon him like you abandoned me too." And the whole time he kept saying that, I'm like, "Dude, seriously, she didn't abandon you. She had to give you up for your own safety."
Really quickly, she didn't say abandon him or abandon the child like he did him, but he said like in a more like he said it in a more riddle-like way, like he always does. Like, are you still a mother that you say you are, or are you the person who abandoned me so many years ago? So it was a really tricky word that he used against her because Henry isn't always good at that. He throws out low, small riddles that no one catches on until it's too late. Remember, he keep on telling people like, yes, I'm the war, I'm the horseman of war. I've been saying all these riddles, and they're like, oh, well, he's been saying it the whole time. Yes, fuck, we're that stupid. So
Okay, who's the third horseman?
There isn't a third horseman yet. Right now,
Well,
all
not
it
in the
is
series.
war and death.
But
Well-
as far as how they're portraying this, we've got the Horseman of Death, the Horseman of War. What's the next one? The Horseman of Samurai?
that'd be really kind of cool though.
I'm actually kind of curious about that, because is that what they're doing? Like, they're releasing each horseman as they did according to the biblical texts?
They might be, because if you look at it, the first season focused on the Horseman of Death with a little bit of Henry logic playing
I
into
always
the
thought
mix.
that I always thought that the Horseman of Death was the last horseman to show up.
Well, I guess this way they reversed it and they made him first because he had a grudge.
Right. As a matter of fact, Leroy's right. They made everything back in order because Death was always last. Now we got Death is first, War is second. And you got these two other main, like pretty much these key point of villains, Famine and Pestilence. If I said it correctly. It's like,
Well, no,
okay.
that's what the supernatural horsemen were called. In Sleepy Hollow, you have War, Death, but the other two, I think one's called Conquest, and the other one I don't remember.
It's Conquest, and I gotta look that up myself. But you can see where it's
There's a lot
going.
of Bible.
You can see where this is going, though.
I got it. Okay. Death, War, Conquest, and Famine.
Right. So actually, it's just telling you like what's the ending's gonna be like. So we don't know what the beginning's gonna be like. So it's like a reverse of telling a story, like a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's like you're telling the story, you're seeing the story at the end, but at the same time, you're gonna see the story at the beginning when you see all the horsemen.
I don't know. I find Ichabod a little funny with all this colonial talk and trying to use a smartphone. And how he drooled over that soup.
All right. So, it looks like that. I just looked on the Wikipedia page for the Horseman, and it's possible that Conquest might be the next Horseman to show up. And Conquest is actually supposed to be Pestilence, so he's going to be the Horseman of Disease.
Mm-hmm. That Genghis Khan was like Genghis Khan always spread disease and famine across, not famine, but pestilence across the land of Asia. So yeah, it's gonna be like that.
And if you remember the episode from the first season where
Actually, we saw him.
Yes, he was in the episode in season 1 where they find this boy wearing colonial clothing and they take him to the hospital.
Out and he started infecting the real world.
Correct.
Yes. It wasn't the real world. They were just in a pocket universe that was.
Well, they were in the pocket, but when he got out, he was in the real world, infecting them bad motherfuckers over there.
Yes. And the Horseman Conquest showed up. We don't know who he's going to be, what actor is going to be playing him.
He was like a samurai.
But he looks like a samurai. He's wearing samurai type armor.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now the question will be, when do we get him? Season finale or a little bit before?
What I think is going to happen is that, if you remember, that at the end of season 1, it was revealed that the second horseman was going to be War, and War is primarily the villain in season 2.
Right.
And I think what they're doing is they're releasing a horseman at the end of each season, and then he's going to become the main enemy at the end of during the following season. So at the
but the way this is going, the way this feels is that Mommy Daddy Issue Henry seems to be the leader that's in charge behind Moloch.
Yeah.
Well,
he answers directly to Moloch, but Abraham answers to Henry.
Right.
Yeah, and he puts Abraham in his place real quick. It doesn't concern you. She's coming with me.
The thing that I don't understand is that in season 1, they portrayed the Headless Horseman to be this big badass, but ever since Henry came into play, the Horseman, also known as Abraham, is a bit of a bitch.
Well, that's a good thing behind it. We don't want to see a character that repeats the same motives over and over again. Like, yeah, he got to be big, tough, and brutal, but I want to see another character. I want to see another person besides the Headless Horseman.
This is another thing I have a problem with. I mean, during the first season, almost every episode had the Headless Horseman in, almost.
But that was a problem, though.
I got one problem so far.
In
They should.
season 2, the Headless Horseman was in the beginning of season 2, but for like the past several episodes, not there.
Dude, where'd that one creature go?
Creature. Oh, the Kindred?
That Ichabod created, that gave the guy the death's head. He disappeared. It's like he fought them, was doing pretty good, and he hasn't been seen since.
Yeah, that's what me and Charles said a couple weeks.
I have a very strong feeling that the Kindred will be showing up either shortly before or during the season finale.
Right, he's going to show up.
Show up again.
Because they create this guy to be their ally, and he's like, yeah, I helped you today. I'll be back when I feel like it. What's up with that?
They haven't really needed him. They haven't really needed the Kindred lately. I mean, because the Kindred was created to be able to combat the Headless Horseman. The Headless Horseman hasn't really been doing much fighting.
Right.
Well, because he's been a bitch trying to chase after Katrina.
Well,
Katrina, my love, where are you? I need you to come back to me.
So
but
now the Headless Horseman is Arnold Schwarzenegger?
yeah, pretty much. But again, I like how it's going though. He is a character, whatever we should not really should, but actually understand where he's coming from. Because we saw his backstory, which was cool, by the way. It brought more boundaries to his character. So seeing Harry pretty much push him around, yes, he does look like a bitch, which is true. However, it kind of makes people like me more sympathetic towards him. Like, oh man, that's kind of fucked up. So when that final battle comes for him and Ichabod, actually fight the last one, you have to make sure choose okay, so which one you want to see live?
I'm sorry, dude. There's no reason to be like that over a woman.
Yeah, you be strong about love.
They were actually like that back in colonial times. I mean, we may not be like that anymore, but back then, that stuff happened all the time.
Who Abraham needed to be with was Ichabod's girl, who was super jealous. They would have made a great couple.
True.
I don't see it.
But they were signed to be married.
They were both jealous.
Yeah, but she knew Ichabod for a very long time, though.
And he was, oh, she can't leave me for you.
However, you kind of think of one thing, man, Ichabod or Katrina had the worst enemies of all time because they make a lot of enemies. God damn. You guys ever stop making enemies of people? No. This happens a lot, I see. Because if you guys just die, it'd be like, okay, no villains, we saved the day. But no, because that's one thing about Sleepy Hollow I have a big problem with. This one big problem, because you start to notice that Ichabod, his past is pretty much his own enemy. And as you see Katrina's past show up even more, that's her own. Are these actually heroes or actually villains? Weird. You should be
the villains. It's just, it's like it said. Your past will always come back to haunt you one way or another.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm just I've enjoyed how Ichabod tries to school these people about colonial knowledge.
God, I always die laughing at that. Oh dear God.
I gotta say, seeing Ichabod, the beginning of the episode where Ichabod, where Ichabod and Abby have that kind of thing where he reacts to certain things that we take for granted. They didn't really do that in this episode because they basically gave Ichabod the common cold. That's pretty much all they did. Is they gave him the common cold, and I did find that somewhat funny, but it was mostly just disappointing, because I was hoping for something more funny like they've been doing, but seeing Ichabod cold was like, well, nobody likes being cold.
Well, that's the thing. Well, they get Ichabod some time to pretty much relax for a time moments, because we want to see Abby.
This episode, this was Abby and the sister's episode, if you really think about it.
Jimmy.
Yeah,
I do like those characters very much.
Yeah,
so it was no big.
This is an Abby and Jenny Mills episode.
I just have one question.
Yes.
When did Abby become a detective?
Well, she's not really a detective. She's like
why the hell is she wearing civilian clothes?
She's like a mercenary. She's like freelancer, feel like that. She's a freelancer.
She's with the police department. She is.
She's a lieutenant.
Yeah.
She's not a detective. She's a lieutenant, and she should be in uniform.
You're talking about Jenny, not Abby. Okay, confused now. Which one are you talking about?
We're talking about Abby.
Okay, never mind.
I already know Jenny.
Okay.
Jenny's a delinquent.
Well, Abby, yeah, that's a good thing, but they watch me wear uniform all the time by fighting Moloch. Like that don't mean shit. Like, oh, I got a badge. Like that don't mean shit to us. We're monsters.
But
Yeah,
you're
so-
still technically being paid by the police force. You're doing all
Which is
your work through the police force. You should be in uniform.
right, but again, she can do whatever she can do whatever she wants to.
Well, it's one of those situations where it is a bit of a plot hole, but it's a plot hole that we just don't really give a shit about. We're
Right,
like,
it's a
oh,
silly
okay,
story.
what the fuck ever. And now look, now that's saying
People don't give a shit because they don't know knowledge. Go ahead, Isaiah. Say your little Isaiah logic.
this is a plot hole.
Thank
It's a
you.
plot hole, but it's a plot hole we don't care about. And if Isaiah says that he doesn't care about plot holes, about this particular plot hole, whoa, back the fuck up. Because I mean, come on. I mean, Isaiah always bitches about plot holes.
Oh yeah, like Dark Knight Rise bullshit. Oh my god, so much plot holes. That movie can go fuck itself.
Anywho,
Yeah.
all right, let's now. I think we pretty much covered everything we need to cover about the Abby and Jenny Mills story.
Yeah. Oh wait. The spells. Like really quickly.
Yeah.
It went back on season 1 again, which is so cool that they said like their great ancestors had like they were actually spellcasters as well. So it was like, oh shoot, we're getting some more magic. We saw
Go
Abby
ahead
use
and say the term witch.
That's another,
anyway magic.
that's another thing. I've seen Abby cast a spell, and now Jenny read another spell yesterday. What the hell is up with this shit? They know how to read which language?
Well, no, because their ancestors they had to practice within their own heritage.
It's
And
in
it was
their
African,
blood, Lou Rod. It's in their blood. They come from a long line of witches.
and also African.
Okay, if it's in their blood, how the hell they know how to read that shit if they're normal people? I can
It's
see
just
Jenny.
natural. It's natural for some folks.
Well, in some cases, the language that are the words that are used in incantations and spells, they're pretty literal. Like if when you read it out, it pretty much is said the way it sounds.
Right, but you have to have that same. Oh, you have to say that same. The aura around you that has the same magical feeling towards it, like how
Yeah.
you know how wizards and witches have like the magical aura around them. It's just like them because their roots is always connected to pretty much the Crane family. It's always connected. It's a really strange root, but it's very connected through and through. So this is why that too. And also, Jenny made some really good references to African like spells, which actually say dates even further back than colonial era. So it makes you think like, huh. So was the Africans fighting Moloch too? Interesting.
Yeah. All right.
The other
Well,
thing- I feel sorry for Katrina because she's dumb.
dumb. And to make matters worse, her hairstyle is not naturally redhead. She's naturally a blonde.
Here we go, folks.
I could care less if she's a redhead or a blonde, bimbo, whatever you want to call her. I mean, don't you see that's like the oldest trick in the book? Go ahead, pick up the baby. Damn,
Yeah.
it's just before you got in that house, you knew that they were doing something. You seen in visions that they created this little demon baby, and that stupid necklace around your neck made you
Yeah.
see this cute little white baby. And then
Pretty
you pick
much.
him up, and he gives you the black ring of death around your neck.
Right, but that's
Yes,
but
yes.
that's the whole point though. That's the seed of like, you need a seed of pretty much doubt and pretty much like manipulation. Yes, she knows it, but she doesn't want to believe it. That's the whole thing behind that necklace. When she sees like Abraham, she doesn't see him as a headless horseman. She sees Abraham. But when she sees the child like as it is, she doesn't see Moloch. She sees a child. So she was actually battling fears like, should I really kill a child? No, this is Moloch. It's a child. So
I
this-
think she figured out something when that little brat went from being a month old to an 8-year-old on a stool talking about, Mommy, I'm hungry.
right, like damn, that was quick. Like oh
yeah,
shit.
which I kind of figured they were going to do something like that because, I mean, come on. I mean, it's baby Moloch. And so
Right.
he's going to age a lot faster than the rest of us. So I'd say in time for the season finale, Moloch is going to be fully grown, and they're probably going to turn him into some sort of, like, I don't know, pretty boy, which I don't really like.
Or not. They might put him in the guy in the shadows or pretty much make him a lobbyist.
Or they might get rid of him.
On us.
Either or. That could happen. That could happen.
It seems to be that these guys find a way to get rid of Moloch before Moloch is fully developed. In every episode so far that I've watched.
Yeah, they're not
It's
really
not
good
gonna
at
work.
making movies.
It's not gonna work. Moloch is going to be fully grown by the end of by the end of the season, and next season, if it makes it to a third season,
They will.
which I'm pretty sure they will. But Moloch will be the primary villain of season 3 probably.
Well, because Moloch is a full-blooded demon himself. He was a guard dog of Purgatory. That says a lot of things. So it's not really shocking that he was growing up really fast as a human-like body that you see him as. But he's gonna be really much bigger issue when he becomes like a full adult because he's like all powerful, like how Superman is. He's all powerful now.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be even powerful. How do you stop a demon? How do you stop a godlike creature?
Not these fools.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's true.
don't know. I'm pretty sure that right now Moloch is still vulnerable, and so right now would be the perfect opportunity to kill him. But
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna find some way to do it. I don't see him being the antagonist in season 3 like that.
But
That's
they
not
got- they
Samurai
have to
Horse.
keep-
I've seen this kind of plot line many times before. It's probably going to play out like that. I'm throwing it out there, folks. That's my speculation. Moloch is going to be fully matured this season. He will become the main villain next season.
Interesting.
That's my
Lucky you're right.
speculation.
Only time will tell.
Okay, so we pretty much covered pretty much everything there is about the episode. So, and since I gave my speculation, how about we just kick it straight into wild speculation territory? Lou Rod, do you have anything to contribute?
Somebody's gonna get that sword next week.
Possibly, yeah.
Hey, but episode next week looks like it's gonna be really good.
Oh yeah,
it does.
That
It
looks
looks
like a
really
really
good.
good episode to close out the winter for them. 'Cause I was looking at it, I was like, damn, that's going to be action packed.
yeah. It's gonna be really good.
Yeah. All right, Isaiah, what's your speculation?
Now you gotta bring the good guy up here. Now you gotta bring the real logic. Anyways, folks. Anyways. So, Abby and Jenny has their mother's book. There's her spell book. So that was really cool too. So she has the keys to actually stop Moloch in his own place. So that actually kind of makes you think like, oh, okay. So she's actually more powerful, and her people was more powerful than Katrina's and her own witch-like clique. So it's like, okay, the black people are more powerful than you. Interesting. Anyway, I think in season 3, I have to agree with Luron. They might kill off Moloch. However, the 4 horsemen are still gonna be around. It's like, we don't need Moloch. Fuck him. We're still gonna take over this bitch. Like, what's it gonna do? Like, we're gonna take over this bitch. They can't stop us.
Back to that theory right there, I feel that's what Henry's trying to do.
Yeah, I can see that too. If he's trying to pretty much double cross Moloch at the same time, that'd be really cool. Give me more.
He's giving
Walter
off
Bishop.
that vibe.
Yeah, give me more Walter Bishop. I don't care about Moloch. Give me Walter Bishop more. Give him more. Come on.
Yes.
What do
Okay.
you think about that, Charles?
I think it's. I still think Moloch is going to reach full maturity this season, and he's going to become the villain next season. I still think that. I'm still sticking to that speculation. But for the most part, beyond saying that Moloch was going to die this season, I agreed with it for the most part.
But I'm referring to Henry trying to take over the world.
I see that too. I
And
want
by
him to-
I've known that. That's not speculation. I think he's the type of villain who's being stuck in Moloch's shadow.
and plus,
So he's gonna try to get Moloch out of the way. However, when it comes to Henry, my speculation is that Henry is not going to become some world person bent on world domination. He's going to have an experience of redemption. At the last minute, he's going to actually side with Ichabod and Katrina, and he's going to renounce his affiliation to Moloch.
I don't see that because people. Go ahead.
I could see it a little bit, because like I said, remember, he has mommy and daddy issues, and they've been trying to crack at that, and little by little they have cracked them, but his allegiance to Moloch is still stronger.
Yeah.
Right.
And to Charles's point, he could see something. He could sit there and say he wants to see his parents get killed, but I don't think so.
Right. Let's be honest right here too. Since the viewers are actually loving Henry for who he is, I love Henry a lot more than Moloch.
He's a badass villain.
Right.
He's very convincing.
So I can see Henry playing a big, interesting game against Moloch and his own family. Because maybe he doesn't want to kill them. He's pretty much using them as a tool to get rid of Moloch. Once Moth is gone, like, oh, thanks, family. Now I'm pretty much going to take over the world now. Thank you very much. Get the fuck out of here now. We're going to take over. But I can see that too. I can really see Henry pretty much taking over because he's using his own parents and Abby to stop Marlowe. So he's like, remember all those failed plans that Marlowe has been thwarted, and Henry has a backup plan? It makes you think like maybe Henry knows they were going to fail, and pretty much he's using them to pretty much defeat Marlowe in a weird sick game.
Okay. All right. So that pretty much covers all our speculation, it seems. Unless anybody else unless anybody else has anything to add.
Nope. I'm looking forward to next week.
Okay, well, then, to all our viewers out there in the interwebs, I'd like to thank you for watching the Geeks Around Hangout discussion for Sleepy Hollow Season 2, Episode 9, Mama. See, I didn't forget.
Thank God.
And so, yes, does anybody have anything to pimp? Isaiah?
All right, folks, here comes the good shit again. Here comes more Isaiah Logic at Isaiah Zone at the YouTube channel. Yes, folks, I have my own YouTube channel. And then check out my community page, which is called The Zone. Yes, you're The Zone. Make it what you want.
Yes, and on that note, yeah, you have a YouTube channel. Well, look at you, Mr. Rockefeller.
I know, 143 episodes. Oh, magic.
Enough with the jazz hands.
Rockstar.
Thank you.
Lou Rod, do you have anything to pimp?
Nope.
All right, Todd, I know you're there. Do you have anything to pimp?
I've got nothing. I'm empty.
Okay, well, on that note, this has been an awesome Hangout discussion. Be sure to check out our other Hangout discussions, which, by the way, after this Hangout is done, we're going to be doing the rescheduled Walking Dead discussion, which normally happens on Sundays. So be sure to tune in for that as well. And don't forget to check out tomorrow's Hangout discussions for The Flash and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, once again, I say thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.